NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Dolphins going up against the Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle, as I'm proud to welcome in the newest members of the Madden family. That's our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much as we welcome all of you inside CenturyLink Field here in downtown Seattle. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. And, Charles, as we take a close look at these two teams, the Dolphins last year last in the AFC East at 6-10. The Seahawks, meanwhile, 10-6.
And Miami is trying to build under new direction. They're trying to get back to being the Miami Dolphins that we knew, especially me, back in my youth. In Seattle, they may have a few new faces, but their goals haven't changed. They want to get back to the Super Bowl.
Last year's second leading rookie rusher. This is Thomas Rawls. And he'll get to the 32. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They go again with Rawls. And he is going to lose. Two, now third down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
Here's Wilson to throw. And the Dolphins run. The Dolphins' new signee from Buffalo, Mario Williams, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
On the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Now a play fake here on first down. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he gets into enemy territory.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught inside the... In for a Miami touchdown. Leonte Carew, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over. Case fantastic, hopefully the first of many.
Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. On the return, the old reliable Devin Hester, the veteran. And nice work on just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now Wilson on second down. It's caught. Lockett. And able to get this one brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. 6 yards to go here on second down.
The emergence of Thomas Rawls out of Central Michigan, chalk one up for the scouting department of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year averaged 5.6 yards per attempt. Most in the NFL. Of course, then he had that nasty ankle injury.
Well, he's back healthy. Saw in 2015.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have. You're not in, that's where they throw the football.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And line here. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it third down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete. Tossed it away, but that brings up 4th. Now Stephen Hauschka, a perfect 6 of 6 from 50-plus last year. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. The board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because that got it above the defense and over the post.
And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is. Which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. Way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Tannehill. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. And no. Just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, second down. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And this time he's able to take. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Oh, hit as he throws. To get it to Jarvis Landry that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little there. I think he got a yard to the 41. Ataba Rubin makes the stop. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's going to be sacked at the midfield strike. Cliff Averill coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was hit.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the... Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They stay on the ground, rolls again. 4 yards to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. They 22.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
About the 47-yard line.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson surveying the field. He's going to look deep down the field. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And that one got tipped. Brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he'll be hit. That'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
This is taken around the 12.
Whoosh.
Great. 5. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Lean more on the running game. It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the offense.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the coverage. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he is in. Thomas Rawls, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. First score of the season for Thomas Rawls, and hey, now he's
team when he really broke out. Undrafted free agent. Think about that now. No one took him. They signed him in the offseason. He ends up becoming the guy and really fueling their run-first offense, and in a really good way.
Comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. Consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. Up to him.
Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer, but when a guy hops in the air and goes difficult because you can't reach out and grab him, that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely. Ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
On second down, Rawls. And he's able to get out. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that is in. And now it's second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take at the 48-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that
See if he has that confidence.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And this is caught. Going for a Dolphins touchdown. Jarvis Landry, 49 yards. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possession. Others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On second down, here's Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll be brought down. 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Wilson on first down. He's got time in the pocket. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be into enemy territory. On first down, Wilson. And it pops free. Loose and brings up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Again on second and 10, it's Wilson. And seeing nowhere harm, incomplete. Now it's third down.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those make they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
Here's John Ryan now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Field, folks, he wants that type of celebration.
And quickly, they get to the line. Play fake to Ajayi. It's Tannehill. This one caught. Jordan Cameron. Give him.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Here's Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker. Good for 16, and the drive will continue. And now they're in the hurry-up. On first down, Tannehill. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked up. A big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
And Ndamukong Suh's second tackle for loss on the game. Strength is the #1 thing you think of with him, but let's not underestimate his hands. You know, it's almost...
And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through, and we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he is going to be taken 4-yard line.
So many times during the course of a game, Brandon, the special teams actually helps out their offense. Not in this case. They did them zero favors with that return.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't. Ball pops out, incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. From his goal line here, Tannehill. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's up, and that'll lead to a third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the. Sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he goes at the 17. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running.
Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They'll try to run with Rawls. And they'll go backwards. 14. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Offense needs something here on second down. It is second and long. On second down, here's Wilson. That is caught inside the up of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands. Speed.
I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On the ground, Rawls. For the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks have once again easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They never even got to it.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now.
Blitz coming and down. Right, the outside linebacker drops him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really...
They've got his man. 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
He's going to take another shot here. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Cam Chancellor, and they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in the touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Two receivers left, one to the right. Now Wilson on first down. And he's going to go out of 25. Give him 11 on the gain there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he is Jimmy Graham, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. And his guy. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And not a particular to start at the 12-yard line.
But conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Second down now after the pass completion.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it? Let him get downfield.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all. 23 yards on the play.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first down, it's Tannehill. Going deep here for Parker. And that one falls in. Position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. Second down now after the incompletion.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays.
Nowhere to escape. Favral in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
We'll call turn of just 3. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins defense, they get set to go here. They're trailing on the scoreboard. Now, they had to watch that last drive, then they come out here. Defensively, when you played, did you like being out there defensively to start the second half or wait to drive?
Locker room, get right back into the flow of the game, because sometimes when you sat around, you liked it when your offense gave you a long drive, but it made it a little bit tougher to get out on the field.
Well, it's the second drive here. We'll see how they respond. The busy afternoon continues for Rawls. Call it a 3rd and 8.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he will. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. Some zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 20th carry for Thomas Rawls. And for one of the few go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Pressure up the middle. And Wake in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sad.
Quarterback gets hit.
Landry now on the return. Call that a loss on the return. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And time now for the Seahawk defense to take their spots again on the field. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Or maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And this is in. Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. And it's 2nd down.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Toward the sideline and looking. And that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doesn't complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down. Oh, he'll want that one. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Tannehill. And incomplete. And brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. Nowhere. Cliff Once again, his third sack of the afternoon. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front.
End zone call. Jermaine Kearse, a 16-yard touchdown. And they come out with one back and three tight ends. Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's good.
So difficult to fit in a pass when Richard Sherman's in the area because of his length. He's able to make a play on the football even late and knock it away, and that's exactly what he did there. And this guy, all-pro, last year only a Pro Bowler because other people had big years. Maybe it's because his interception numbers went down. He only had 2 last year. Avoiding the heck out of him to make sure he doesn't make big plays. As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Safety Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And out now come the Seahawks. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. Right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is dropped it. And the Seahawks